All right.
So we're going to be continuing on with the PvPs, and fingers crossed things line up over there for Cretan to be able to cast Bunny Special. That is definitely TBT for the ages.
Oh yeah, definitely. So hopefully another stream is able to catch that. I imagine there's going to be a lot of shenanigans, like especially in the TVT with special. There's probably going to be a couple of proxies, a lot of aggression. It's everything that you want in a TVT.
Bunny is probably going to be like 250 drops or something.
Mm-hmm.
But till then, we are going to be loading on to a PvP on Jagannatha LE. We're in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way to the top left-hand corner map. We have the blue Protoss player coming down from the land of South Korea. He is currently chilling in that Jinner Greenwing's house. And be having advice from two great Protoss players at his left and at his right. Representing Team NV as well for some reason, we have Creator.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the other South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Afrika Freaks. It is Stats.
Boy. Now, we've just seen Creator and how he plays against Patience, but Stats, he is an entirely different Protoss player. He has an entirely different axis on the Protoss graph. Stats, you can kind of call him the X-axis. Zest is the Z-axis, you know, in terms of play styles. Patience is very much the Y-axis.
Oh yeah, yeah. In more ways than one, he is the Y-axis, and we'll see how Creator does here because Patience was so aggressive in that last series, it was mainly on Creator to scout and defend a lot of the time, right? But against Stats, like, he's a completely different kind of Protoss player, so we'll see if maybe Creator is a little bit more comfortable and, like, this is kind of what he wants out of a PvP, or if he gets out-macroed by Stats.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility that I think a lot of people are probably thinking in their minds as something quite likely to happen, but again, we'll see what Creator can sort of come up with. I really liked his unit compositions in those past games that we saw against Patience. If you can do that and, you know, maybe throw in some pretty solid, I don't know, some pretty solid micro behind that as well, I think Creator has a pretty good shot.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm a little bit concerned by a couple of things, but okay, because we did have the wall being thrown down at the natural for Creator, which does mean that the wall on top of the ramp is a little bit delayed, you know, to deny the Adept Shade. But it looks like he's aware of that and he is walling off on top of the ramp as well. So, you know, it's okay. He's just opening up a little bit more greedy, defending his natural.
Definitely is. You don't really have to park a probe by your natural wall either. Creator, you know, better safe than sorry, so he will be doing that. But yeah, as long as you have some units there, and you know you're diligent with your main ramp, you should be able to just, you know, deal with whatever your opponent throws at you in the natural.
Yeah, definitely. And we do see Creator, he is opening up Stargate. Meanwhile, I love what Stats is doing. This is not what he's known for. Look at what's at the bottom right of the map.
Oh, Stats right at the end of the year saying, you know what? I'm going to have fun. Who played against Creator earlier? Was it Patience? I'm going to play like Patience.
Hashtag play like Patience. And you're right, you know what? There's no holds bar, like there's no more GSL. GSL is done for the year, Codes at least. And now Stats, he's just doing whatever he can, you know, being aggressive here with these Adepts, even forcing Creator to fully wall off at the natural.
Yeah, forced to activate the Pulsar Beam as well on this Oracle. Gonna have a lot less by the time it gets across the map to deal with the probes.
Yeah.
And I'm just staring at the production bar. I'm waiting for that Darkshine to finish producing.
Yeah, I think what's important is that, like, the energy was wasted. He doesn't get to use it on the probes. What's more important, I think, is that there's not that much energy for Revelation either, and that's like the form of detection that Creator has for these DTs.
Exactly. He has just about one Revelation available to him, but he's even keeping his Oracle across the map. Void Ray will be able to spot the spotter pylon from Stats, And that also means that, you know, in order to keep his ZTs hidden, he will have to warp them in pretty far away. Takes a little while to get across the map.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm sure Stats was hoping that that pylon would go unscattered so he could warp in his DTs across the map and get into the natural a lot faster. But no, that wasn't the case. He was forced to warp them in at home. So now they have that long walk across the map. And you know what, Creator, it looks like he's going to be able to spot the Dark Shrine, but not before the DTs hit.
Yeah, well, he did bring the Oracle back home, which is really important to note. Reveals both these ZTs, and these Stalkers will be able to start cutting them down. Adepts looking to make it into the main base though, and we'll get a pretty good scout, but I doubt they'll get too much probe damage done.
Yeah, we'll see as only two probes go down for 2 adepts. Meanwhile, the DTs got dealt with. It looks like the Dark Shrine is going to be going down. So Creator playing this beautifully.
Stats. I can imagine Patience just watching this game and shaking his head, saying, "You need practice, my friend."
Patience. Patience is shooting into Maddox's stream when he's just got his head in his hands. He's like, "What is this guy doing?" Like, God damn it!
You think you can just proxy a Dark Shrine? He's like, you don't realize how much practice you need to do with that.
He's like, it's not easy to play like Patience, okay? You can't just hashtag play like Patience. It doesn't work like that. And because of that, the proxy was completely shut down. The DTs did not pay for themselves at all. Like, Stats hasn't done anything with his opener.
He really has not. Creator is looking to get even more probe damage done. 2 Oracles waiting right outside the main base. And again, 2 Oracles is the perfect number to start one-shotting these probes. You don't get any overkill either.
Yeah, definitely. You just dive in and you kill everything. It doesn't even matter that there's just shield battery here. The probes will dive regardless. And here we go. It looks like the Oracles are diving in. And so far, there are no Stalkers here to defend.
No, there is not. 4 probes are already starting to go down. 6, 7 of them even. And Creator, on top of this, gets a very good scout, sees the additional gateways going down. The Oracles will get sniped. Really nice blink over there. Wait, was that even a blink?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Really nice blink over there from Stats. But 9 probes have gone down light. And Creator is well aware of the, off the composition being that Stats is preparing right now.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the most important part, right? Like, he was able to suss out that Blink is out on the map. Like, Stats does have that for his army. He does have Blink Stalkers out on the map. He did see the Forge as well, and saw all the tech, all the production in the main base. So Creator, he does have like a faster third, which is nice, but he doesn't have Blink of his own, which is a little bit scary.
Yeah, I mean, trying to go into charge, which, I mean, it's good to have in general. In a PvP, but against Blink Stalkers, maybe not the most effective counter.
Yeah, this is turning out a little bit like Creator versus Patience game 1, where Patience went Blink Stalker Disruptor, and Creator, he went for that kind of Archon Zealot composition instead.
Yeah, and Stats is not done playing like Patience just yet, getting that Robo Bay and getting an additional Robo Facility. So yeah, we should be seeing a lot of Disruptors coming out from Stats. Unless he decides to be a madman and goes to Colossus, but maybe not yet.
Yeah, even Patience doesn't do that, mate. Like, that's not gonna happen. We'll see, as at the moment we do see Stats showing off with his Blink Micro, actually getting a decent amount of damage here, chipping away at the army of Creator.
Yeah, wasting a little bit of that shield battery energy. But there's always a battery overcharge available for Creator. A lot of his probes are starting to go down. Okay, only 4 probes went down.
4 probes went down to a couple of shades into the natural, and it looks like Creator, for the most part, he is able to hold here outside his base, and I like this. He isn't neglecting his own Disruptors, as we do have a Robotics Bay on the way for Creator.
Yeah, I should be seeing that. Those Disruptors come up pretty soon, and we've seen how good Creator can do with those. +2 is going to finish up here for Creator way before it can be done here for Stats. Zealot's starting to charge right on in on top of these Stalkers. But Creator will regroup, will say, you know what? I know I can beat you with what I have.
Yeah,
I'm just going to wait until I have the optimal army.
Yeah, we'll see what Creator can get done, because you know what? There are 2 Disruptors with this army.
But that is such a good flank, though, Light. And the Zealots actually kiting really well. Purification Nova's not getting anything done. Now, we do have a battery overcharge being used. And it's actually keeping a couple of these units alive, but the Disruptors have already been taken out. 1 more Disruptor comes out here for Stats, but already kind of wasting a shot. Really nice position for these Stalkers to be in. Purification over, getting a couple more units.
Yeah, and it looks like
everything is going down right now for Sats.
Yeah, exactly, and GG gets called.
Creator taking game number 1. That was really nicely done. A really good counter attack, a really good counter to the playstyle that Sats came out here. And again, I can just imagine Patience. He's having a seizure. He's saying, "Why? Why is somebody trying to play like me without actually, knowing how to?"
Exactly. Like, Creator, he played that out so well, and because he was so far ahead after the beginning of the game, like, he was able to take his advantage and just continue on forward with those upgrades, with, all of his production as well. And Stats, he just didn't have enough. Like, I was so impressed. We even saw Stats go out with those Purification Novas, and the splits on the Zealots were amazing. Like, minimal losses were had on the side of Creator.
There really were as little losses as possible there. And let's see if we can keep this up. If you get 2-0 stats, that's a milestone. All right, but we'll see what he can get done here on Lightshade LE. The LE, of course, standing for Lightning Engineer. Lightning Engineer. That's when you have Zeus. He makes the lightning. In the bottom right-hand corner, map spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player coming down from the land of South Korea, already on match point against one of the top Protoss players of this current year. Can he take him out? Can he crush his dreams of gaining another ESL Open Cup Championship? Let's find out. Representing Generic Green Wings as well as Team NV and this anime girl for some reason, it is Creator.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Team Afrika Freaks, currently down 0-1 in this best of 3. We expect so much more from this guy. Can he bring it back, or is he going to fall here and now? It is Stats.
Okay, no proxies as of yet. Coming up from Sats, but we're gonna wait for that Cybercore to finish up. After that.
Yeah, like, after game number 1, I would hope, like, I don't know if Stats was being, like, disrespectful. He's like, you know what, it's Creator, I'ma do something crazy. Oh boy.
Oh boy, and I'm with you there with the whole, after game number 1 and how Creator just shut down what Stats was doing. I would imagine he would go for, something he's a little more known for, something that he's probably a lot more comfortable or reliable with in a standard macro game. But yeah, then I saw that pylon, and that is the Stargate.
All right. Yeah, we'll see how Creator does. He does have a pylon on the edge of the map, and we'll see if he goes for a bit of a probe scout to search around for something like this. I mean, Creator, he does have a probe in the main base. He does spot that, there is potentially a pylon missing. Like, there should be something else there because, you need a third pylon, and there were only 2. So we'll see what he's able to find here if he even searches at all.
Yeah, and he is sending the Stalkers out, getting the spotter pylon as well on the edge of his base. Creator is just covering all his bases right now.
He finds
really
it.
Nice.
He finds it.
Let's find it.
Wow.
And this Oracle should be able to get out before the Stargate gets depowered, but once you're aware of what's coming for you, that's already half the battle.
Yeah, it is half the battle, but again, only half because we do have 2 adepts as well, so Creator has to make sure immediately walls off. These adepts are not going to get into the mineral line.
Is he out shielding Stats right now?
Oh my god, is he gonna get it?
Is Creator out shielding Stats? Okay, not quite able to prevent that Oracle. And I don't see too many units here other than these sentries.
Yeah.
Maybe a Guardian Shield might be able to help out, but yeah, not really seeing it. A lot of probes starting to go down. That's the disadvantage that Creator went for by placing the shield battery a little bit closer to the edge.
Yeah.
So decent damage already done here from Stats.
Yeah, 5 probes isn't too bad, especially because he kept his Oracle alive. So, you know what? Even though the Stargate got depowered, he was able to deal some damage with it. Like, that's already better than what he was able to accomplish with his Dark Shrine in Game 1.
Definitely was. Nice little Nexus block.
Yeah, this is weird. Like, he forces
Whoa.
Stats to take a third as his natural.
Is that common in PvP? I feel like it's
Right.
much more of a... You normally see Zerg players do that as a response to getting pylon blocked.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's why it's a little bit weird. It's like something you don't see too often.
Huh. Alright, well... I'm just at a bit of a loss for words, but... I mean, we were expecting something a little bit out there in this particular PvP, but I didn't think Stats was going to go right... I didn't think Stats was going to completely ride the unorthodox train.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I didn't think so either, but you know what? This is the Stats we're getting this week, and maybe this is what he's been working on. Like, again, we haven't really seen him this entire month in this tournament series, but he has returned, and this is what he's got.
This is the start of a multi-issue arc of the Shield saga, where Stats, he just has his brain taken over by a bug or something.
I was about to say, is this
That's
when
not the Stats we know.
Is this when Hydra takes over Shield? Is that what's happening right now? Is that
Probably is.
Oh god, yeah, this is not the Stats we know and love, so we'll see if he's able to bring this back despite that, with all this aggression.
You know, it's looking pretty possible. I mean, Stats, despite a little bit of a wonky placement on the third base, is still ahead in terms of worker count, still ahead in terms of the upgrades as well. So yeah, he is not at a disadvantage by any means.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Creator, what he does have going for him is the fact that his Robo was a lot faster. He already has an Immortal out. He's getting a War Prism out. So with this War Prism, he's going to want to push across the map and deal some damage. And it could be a little bit more difficult for Stats to defend, especially because his natural is, you know, in the unnatural position, right? It's a little bit more difficult to get his reinforcements in here. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think one of the advantages of Light Shade is that, you know, it's such a white map that if your opponent decides to go for an attack like this, it will take a while, but as you said, when you put your natural, or when you put your second base at the third base location, it helps your opponent out a lot. Forced to pull a voice here, and Stats is getting a lot of damage done with only 2 adepts. And with that, they're pretty much equal. Stats has quite a bit of an advantage, actually. I was going to say it's only 4 probes, but in a mirror matchup, that can make all the difference.
Yeah, I think this is a bit of a mistake. I'm so surprised the Creator turned around. Like, again, he had, even though he doesn't have Blink, like, he had the beefier army, he had the Immortal and the War Prism to continue to warp in more and more units to apply pressure here at the natural or at the second base, but yeah, he just turns around.
You know what it is? He remembered the nickname of his opponent, and he thought, well, I had 1 shot to go in and maybe break the shield, but now that that's over, yeah, no, I'm just gonna build up my army back home.
Yeah, like, I don't blame him, because Stats, he did have 2 shield batteries that were finishing up as well. He had a decent amount of stalkers. He has overcharge available to him, so it can be difficult to break through. And yeah, Creator, instead, he decides to back off and instead trying to catch up with Blink and with +1.
And he is going to be fighting a massive uphill battle here, especially considering he's down an entire base. Stats is really going to start, you know, putting his foot on the macro pedal.
Yeah.
And he has 3 bases to produce probes off of. He will just perpetually be ahead in terms of the economy throughout this game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what, again, that's also why I was surprised that Creator turned around, because he's stuck on 2 bases and Stats was getting a 3rd, and now he's getting fully saturated on 3 bases. Like, Creator, it looks like he's just going to try and catch up.
Yeah, this is starting to look pretty scary here for Creator. Whatever slight advantages he had earlier in this game, hey, he's pretty much been eclipsed by Stats by this point.
Yeah, the only thing that he will have is, like, he started +1 a lot earlier than Stats, so if that even comes into play, then he will have that upgrade advantage. We'll see if Stats gives him that time, though, because he does have Blink with these Stalkers.
Indeed, he does. Immediately jumps atop of the Warp Prism, takes it completely out, and that is all, pretty much all of Creator's offensive capabilities. Nice force fields here, going to be able to take out a handful of these Stalkers on your way out. But again, that just was not game-ending damage or even significant damage for Stats. He can remake those Stalkers pretty easily.
Yeah, definitely. We saw a bit of a gateway explosion earlier coming out from Stats as well. So he has his production up and running. He has his upgrades. Sure, he's a little bit late with his +1, but he's got a pretty beefy army. And yeah, I imagine, here we go. He's pushing out.
Yeah, especially in PvP, I feel like unit composition does matter a little bit more than, upgrades. And then, of course, positioning is on top of all of that. But yeah, we'll have to see if Creator can really position his army. Expose Immortals tried to get taken out here, but activating your Guardian Shell.
Yeah, definitely. I do like these hallucinations as well, used to try and soak up a little bit of damage, but oh my god, there are just so many charges being warped in.
That there are. Creator has a decent sentry count over here, and may be able to block some of these charges from coming in, but no, they pounce right on top of the Stalkers. Now, Creator was the quicker player to tech into Disruptors, and that's actually giving his Stats quite a bit of pause. Really isn't sure if he can engage into those Novas, especially with charge boots,
Exactly.
They're a little bit clunky.
Yeah, they're a little bit. Yeah, they're a little bit more difficult to avoid those disruptor shots. And if it wasn't for that disruptor, then maybe Stats he wouldn't have pulled back. Maybe he would have kept applying more pressure and pushing into the national. So with that, Creator is able to just barely hold on, push Stats away, and now he's just getting more and more disruptors. It's going to be more difficult for Stats to push in, especially without disruptors of his own.
And that's why Stats is saying, you know what? I realize I need to build up my army further. I'm going to have my +2. I'm going to get my 4th base, and yeah, we'll meet again in 5 minutes, all right? Sound good? Cool.
Yeah, pretty much, because there we go. He's expanding to the south. He's getting his 4th. I imagine Creator's going to get his pretty soon. Again, with his army, he should feel relatively safe. Like, he's caught up in terms of blink. He does have a little bit of a later +2, unfortunately. He didn't start it as soon as +1 finished. But again, like, that upgrade window difference is quite small. And there we go. He is looking to expand.
Yeah, Sets is now well aware of this, trying to send whatever he can to try to delay that expansion, but one Adept is scary. 3 Zealots, yeah, no, they do not want to mess with the Battle Librarian.
Not at all. Yo, that one Adept with less than half health, it's terrifying right now. So he does back off. He has a lot of respect for that Adept, and Stats, like, he is spread out quite nicely, looking to try and find an opening wherever he can.
Yeah, but Creator is sending a couple of spotters around, just trying to, get an idea of where Stats is, and he does have Disruptors. They're very exposed, though. Oh, but baiting the Blinks once again. Beautiful splits, though, coming out from Stats. And the Stalker count for Creator up here in the north, completely caught off guard.
Yeah, definitely. Like, the charge loss, they got on top of the majority of these Stalkers, and he does lose quite a number of them. So in the end, I do feel like Stats trade a little bit better, getting that disruptor. He himself only lost a couple of gateway units, but again, it's not the biggest of deals. Again, just a couple of skirmishes here and there.
Yeah, we'll have to wait until, both players are beginning to max out when the upgrades really hit, before we start seeing some massive impact going down. Catches this Warp Prism. Nicely done here for Creator. But this also prompts Stats' army to come back. And again, the Disruptors are just so exposed. Purification Novas will land on a lot of these Stalkers. But most of the chargelets, and especially the Immortals, stay alive. Did any Disruptors come out from there?
One.
Get up for that recall. One. Oh, wow.
Yeah. This one Disruptor was able to escape. So, I mean, he did get that out of his troubles. But despite that, like, there are units all over the place. Creator, he just lost 2 Disruptors for free.
Yeah, I have to wonder what's going on there. A little bit of a miscalculation. And another Disruptor goes down before it can even fire a Purification Nova. Another Nova comes in! Oh, but immediately sniped here from Stats. And this feels like too much damage. I mean, +2 is nowhere near... Okay, it's only now going to finish up here for Creator. Stats has a pretty big upgrade window. But Creator is somehow really pushing this.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what? Creator, he lost 4 Disruptors for nothing, and GG gets called.
Stats going to be taking game number 2 in the style that we're a lot more familiar with from him. And we are going to our ace match.
Yeah, and Creator, we saw him fall apart a little bit. Like, it was almost as if he was spread too thin. He had units all over the map, and he just couldn't keep up with them. And because of that, there was stray units caught out here and there, and Stats was able to just capitalize on that and just snowball.
Indeed, he was. Still a pretty close game coming out here. Still Creator giving a really impressive showing, I would say. But yeah, a couple of positioning moves and, you know, just being caught off in the middle of the map, getting his, you know, units taken out for nothing, really ended up having a bit of a domino effect.
Yeah, definitely. It just went from there, and Creator, like, maybe there was some moments where he could have been a little bit more decisive. It's a shame that he was able to scout the proxy Stargate at the beginning of the game, but he wasn't able to stop it from dealing damage because it still got a decent amount of probe kills. We'll see if Stats is going to continue this trend of proxying around the map.
He's gonna can rush this game. I can feel it. What better way to, you know, sort of close things off, and what better map to close up a series than on Def Aura? Heli, of course, standing for Los Imanicos. That's got to be a word, I think.
Sure.
In the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player coming down from the land of South Korea. He is having the PvPs of his life right now, but it can come crumbling down just like that. See if he's able to, you know, edge out the series and go on to the quarterfinals, if I'm not wrong, semifinals. I don't remember which one.
Semis.
Representing Generic Green Wings as well as Team NV and this anime girl, it is Creator.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the other South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Afrika Freaks, tied up 1-1 in this best of 3. Which way is it gonna go? We have Stats.
Stats already kind of messing up here, not going Forge first.
That's it. That's GG.
That's, oh, wow. Yeah, one shot to win the series now.
I know, right? Like, it's the trifecta, you know? Game 1, he went Proxy Darkstrand. Game 2, Proxy Stargate. Now,
but he's trying to go for the gas steal.
he was trying. Oh,
I get it. Oh, but Creator's on top of things. Oh, is he gonna get it? The probe is starting to get low. The probe is starting to get low. Creator playing with fire, but he prevents the gas steal. That was the most exciting thing to come out from the sequence. I'm kidding.
Yo, Stats, like, look, I've seen him in my chat, all right? I've seen how he enjoys the gas steals, and he was trying to go for it, but not quite, you know? Just like Patience, mate, it's not that easy to gas steal. There's an art form to it, okay?
Stats may have been watching your stream a lot, but you know who else watches you? You know who doesn't just watch your stream, but also practices against you? It's Creator.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah, this is all accurate. This is all real. And yeah, because of that, Creator was able to keep his gas to himself, denied it from Stats. What a guy.
What a guy. That's it, GG. I would see how Seth turns this game around now.
We shall see.
That start gate will probably help.
Yeah, we do see the Stats. This time he has everything, all of his tech structures in his base. They are not out on the map. He does have his Stargate here, and I feel like this is the smart play. This is the right play. Like, both games, his proxies got scouted, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, just going back to what we kind of are familiar with how Stats plays and how we normally expect Stats to play, I feel like he kind of threw out those 2 games just to see what he could get done, and now he's going back to what he's more comfortable with, or maybe not what he's more comfortable with, but what has been more reliable for him, right? Throughout his, I want to say throughout his career.
I don't know if I would say throughout his career, but throughout recent memory, right? Like,
recent memory is better.
Definitely. So we do have the Stargate opening coming out. We do have an Oracle coming out for Stats. And meanwhile, Creator, he does have Hallucinated Phoenix coming out across the map, and he should be able to spot the Stargate. Oh, spots the Oracle.
Yeah, I mean, spots the Oracle. Unless he's like, it's a Haluked Oracle. You should know. All right, gets the Twilight Council. Is able to see the Stargate as well. Really good scout coming out.
Okay, and this time there are Stalkers in position, so this Oracle, it's not going to be able to get into a middle line, or is it?
Already targeting down a good number of probes, and should be able to keep this alive. A couple more hits. Oh, Oracle will not be going down, and it will continue to get value as this game goes on.
Yeah, 3 pros. Oh, he's hunting it. He wants it. He wants it.
But Stats, he's an elusive predator. He just rolled around in some mud, hiding the scent of the Oracle.
Oh my god, just like old mate Arnie, he was able to disguise his scent. He is able to avoid the stalkers of Creator. Creator, he's still looking for that Oracle, and with that, he will be able to dive in, maybe even get some kills on these sentries.
Yeah, and I mean, we talk about Oracles as a unit that, you know, scales pretty well as the game goes on and can have a lot of value. Sentries are another energy-based unit that you really want as much energy as possible here as Haluk War Prism. Wow.
Yeah, that solid thonking out of that one. I guess either Stats misclicked or he wanted to try and deceive his opponent by sending a War Prism across the map.
You know what, the likely answer to that is the misclick, but we know Stats. He's been trying to take a page out of a Patience recently.
That's true. This is true. He's been trying to play like Patience, and we'll see if he's able to pull that off, or if he's able to win instead. We'll see. That was uncalled for. Patience, I love you. I love you, Patience. Oh god.
We rip you because we love your Patience.
Look, Creator beat Patience is all I'm trying to say, okay? Patience, he couldn't pull it off against Creator, so Stats, you know? What's he trying to do?
Yeah, he's gonna have to do something a little different here.
Oh god.
And by different, we mean standard.
Yep, pretty much. As you know, we have +1 on the way from both players, you know, similarly timed. We have Charge on the way as well, a lot faster for Creator. You know, he will have a little bit of a window where that he does have that advantage. And for the most part, both players, they've taken their thirds at around similar time. So unlike the previous game, like there is no clear player with an economic advantage.
Yeah. And I have a hypothesis for you, Light. When we talk about the window of Charge, tell me if you agree with me on that. Well, Luke Stalker versus... Okay, this cannot be misclicks anymore coming up from Stats.
What is happening? What is happening? I haven't seen someone... Yeah, I haven't seen someone use Halux like this.
I'm telling you, like, somebody bugged his brain, and Agent of Hydra, Haas himself, has bugged the brain of Stats.
Is Stats streaming right now on Afrika? Is he like drinking soju right now on stream? What is? Yeah, I mean, it works, I guess. You know, he's able to use his energy effectively, right?
Yeah, kind of, but it does also mean that his sentries will have, you know, less Guardian Shell available to him, less Force Fields, which, I mean, to be fair, Force Fields are less relevant in PvP, but you still want to have them here and there just to try to zone out your opponent.
Yeah, definitely. It's very interesting the way he's been using these hallucinations. I haven't seen a player use so many hallucinations in so many different ways as I have from Stats this game. Like,
is he just achievement hunting? I'm just trying to get that achievement which says hallucinate one of every unit. I don't think that even exists as an achievement.
That's what he's doing right now, just for his stream. Just for his stream.
Just for a stream. Somebody, if somebody can verify if Stats is actually streaming or not, we will love to see that.
Yeah, definitely. And at the moment, both players are kind of just chilling. You know, we see Stats. He's the first player to take his 4th. Creator is looking to take his 4th. There it is. So they're both just chilling, expanding, just letting each other do their own thing here on Death Aura.
Yeah. Seeing, it's really going to come down to that final engagement, that good old, Max Army versus Max Army.
Yeah.
And in those engagements, it can really come down to, who positions better, who is able to get a flank, who is able to, do things here and there.
Yeah.
And now I'm remembering what I was going to go into until we noticed Stats' hallucinations. Tell me if you agree with me on this. The window, when it comes to getting, say, the Twilight Council upgrades quicker, unless it's Blink, the window is more of, I got Charge, let's say, or I got Glaive, right? It's more of, I got this upgrade so I can get the other upgrade quicker, right? As opposed to, I got this upgrade so I can utilize it quicker.
I would imagine so. I guess that kind of comes into play, kind of. The problem is that once you have Blink and once you have Charge, that's what else are you gonna get?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there isn't really much else. You're not going to get glaives like in a PvP unless you're, you know, doing a big like adept all-in or something like that, which we haven't seen in quite some time. So yeah, it's kind of hard to say, as it looks like both players, they may be looking to engage. Nope, back off.
Yeah, backs away. Creator was really trying to utilize his +2 attack weapons, but yeah, not quite as confident with his army composition, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him, right? Like, it does look like Stats. He does have a much larger army here. Creator, he's a little bit more segmented. He has his disruptors a little bit behind, a little bit in the back.
These stalkers jump right on top of the war prison and will be able to get away in time, trying to utilize these disruptors as well, but that was already a lot of value taken here for Creator. You know, as long as he doesn't lose the rest of his army here, he should be fine. He'll be the player who gets his +3 quicker.
Oh god, but here comes Stats. He's maxed out.
A massive flank from Stats. And as you said, he is maxed out. Disruptors will be able to take out a good amount of stalkers over here, but not much else. Even a little bit of friendly fire. Stats is looking to really come in and leverage his army advantage.
Exactly, because the majority of the supply for Creator, ooh, nice disruptor shots, but they were over to the side. Like, again, Creator, he was split up with his main army, and Stats, he had everything, and now he's just gonna A-move in.
Yeah, A-move in, throw out a couple of Purification Novas. Not the most efficient use onto that Immortal, but by this point, Stats is just so much army supply. He can do whatever he wants. No shield batteries, so unable to really utilize that in his defense for Creator.
Yeah, and exactly, and 19-20 probes go down, everything at the 4th.
GG is called, and Stats takes it. And that was a really close series. Creator was able to really make it pretty close, especially in that last game. I feel like, you know, Stats had waited even a minute later, and then Creator would have been able to could have been able to turn that game around. He would have been able to sort of, you know, have a better army, have his upgrade advantage. But in the end, Stats, he just had the more consistent macro, I should say. Able to max out a lot quicker and then just go in with his advantage.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I do like that Stats, he was able to rein it in, and we just saw him, for the most part, both players, they just chilled out, got up to 4 bases, maxed out, and of course Stats was the first to do so. And that's one of the things that we asked going into this series, like if both players just, you know, macroed up, like wouldn't Stats just out macro his opponent, because that's kind of the player that he is, and that's what we saw. Yeah,
we got our answer, and it was the answer we kind of knew. And just like that, we already have our first semifinals available to us. It is going to be a PvZ for the first time in this broadcast. Stats versus Solar. Oh boy, that's a bit of a rivalry here in the ESL Open Cup Asias. For the longest time, it was Solar who had the record for the most championships here. Then Stats kind of overtook him there, and then from there they were tied. Right now, Solar is the record holder with, I believe, 7 championships, Stats with 6. But yeah, now Stats is looking to even that up, and we'll see if he's able to.